workshop, so I turned their golf course into a swamp. It started with a strange smell in my workshop, wet wood and mildew. At first, I thought maybe a pipe had burst or the roof was leaking, but when I opened the door, I stepped into ankle-deep water. My heart sank. Every woodworking tool I owned, ruined. My table saw, rusted. My hand planes, coated in orange corrosion. Lumber I'd been seasoning for months was now warped and worthless. Thousands of dollars of damage gone in one night. I started looking for the source. Following the flow of the water out the back of my property, I found a freshly dug ditch. It ran straight from the neighborhood stormwater system to my land, like they'd aimed a fire hose at me. A little more digging, both literally and with some phone calls. And I learned the truth. The HOA had redirected their drainage to maximize runoff efficiency for their fancy golf course. In other words, they wanted their greens dry, so they flooded me instead. I called the HOA president. His answer, it's within community guidelines. I told him I didn't live in his community. His reply, it's just water, you'll be fine. That's when I remembered something important. That same golf course had an irrigation system that pulled water from a pond, my pond. Well, technically it was a pond that straddled both our properties, but over 70% of it was on my side, and they'd been using it for free for more than a decade. No contract, no easement, just an old handshake agreement my dad had made with the original developers. I decided to check if they had any legal right to it. Spoiler, they didn't. One midnight research session and a quick trip to the county property office confirmed it. The pump house for their sprinklers sat entirely on my side of the property line. I could cut them off anytime I wanted, so I did. The next morning I walked over to the pump house, installed a heavy steel lock on the door, and went about my day. By sunset, the sprinklers on the golf course had gone dry. Day 2, the greens started fading. Day 5, the course looked like a hayfield in the middle of August. Golfers complained. Resort guests demanded refunds. The HOA board held emergency meetings. They sent me a cease and desist letter demanding I reopen their water supply. I sent them my own letter, invoicing them for the flooding damages to my workshop, the cost of replacing my tools, and 10 years worth of backwater usage fees. The total bill? More than they wanted to pay. They refused, so I drained the pond back to its natural creek level, leaving them without enough water to run their sprinklers at all. They had to truck in water daily at sky-high costs, just to keep the place from turning into a dust bowl. 3 months later, they gave in. The HOA rebuilt my workshop from the ground up, replaced every single tool, and signed a 25-year lease agreement for pond access. On my terms, paid in full every year in advance. Now, every time I step into my new workshop, the smell of fresh-cut cedar greets me. And the best part? The HOA's golf course still looks picture perfect. On the surface, one missed payment, one wrong move, and their fairway paradise turns back into a swamp. Destroy a craftsman's workshop, and you don't just get payback, you sign up for a lifetime lease on his revenge.